Alright folks, so welcome to our update of our first season playing as Newcastle United in FM20. So I'll give a brief overview of transfers we've made, how the season went, and any interesting tidbits along the way. So, starting off with transfers, we picked up three key players in the winter transfer window. First guy, Martin Terrier. As you can see, improved quite nicely actually over the first season. We picked this boy up for £7 million. He had quite a nice season for us. Good pace, reasonable dribbling, finishing, coming off and passing. Plays nice on the left as an inverted winger, inside forward, also as an advanced playmaker. Secondly, we picked up a centre-back from Salzburg for £10 million, Jerome Onguene. He's got nice, solid physical stats, reasonable mentals, and they're all right technicals. He's only 22 years old, so we're hoping that a bit of time he might improve. We might eke these out to make him a very strong centre-back. If you look at his potential ability, 4.5 stars apparently, so hopefully we should be able to really develop it into a nice player over the coming years. And finally, we picked up this lad, Santiago Asasibar, as a solid defensive midfielder to bolster the midfield. He cost us £12.5 million from VfB Stuttgart, and as you can see, he's all just about the tackling and passing the ball off. He's got 4 caps for Argentina now. He's, again, a solid player. Really helped solidify the team. And that's what we started the season with. Our pre-season went pretty solidly. We picked up a good number of wins. Was feeling quite positive about everything. And this is the sort of team we were lining up with. So we were playing a 4-5-1. A couple of centre midfielders, 4 at the back, and what we had pace to burn. So we got Saint Maximin, fast man, great dribbling skills, just gets the ball and runs with it down the wing. We've got Almiron, who we started out on the left, again, loads of pace, good dribbling, powering his way down the left. Then we had the club's record signing who came in, Joe Linton. Great looking physicals, solid looking finishing, playing down the middle, and then we could stick anybody in the hole. In this instance, we used Muto. So our season started off in reasonable mediocrity with a 0-0 draw at Burnley, followed by a 4-3 goal fest at Bournemouth. We picked up a win at Watford, and then reality really hit home with a 6-1 thrashing at Aston Villa, which is very disappointing. We played a reasonable team. We did play a couple of youngsters, so we played Yannick Toure up front, and we had Robbie Elliott in goal. Robbie Elliott was terrible. He was really bad, as can be seen by the goals conceded. September saw us turn things around a bit of tactical tweaking here and there. We picked up a host of draws, albeit against fairly weak opposition, and picked up a win against Crystal Palace. This was one of the rare occasions where actually our forward line was scoring goals. I'll just show a couple of instances here. Almiron poking one in with a slide tackle. That's the quality of goal we were scoring at the start of the season. Maximin with a slide tackle. Joe Linton with a sliding push from a Maximin assist. And to seal it all, an own goal from a free kick got us the win. So we were really finding our feet in September. October came along, tactical tweaks, thinking that we were doing well. We played Norwich and had a nice 2-1 win, and from then on, things turned rotten. We had a horrific run of fixtures coming up. and also just poor tactical mistakes, I think. We conceded a lot of goals from outside the box, just on the edge of the box. Everton at the time were top of the league when we played them, and then we had Arsenal, Man City, Wolves, Liverpool, Tottenham, Leicester. Now Leicester were bottom of the league when we played them. We scraped a fluky draw, followed up with Chelsea and Man United. So you can see this fixture list was horrific. So many losses. This string of losses led to the board giving us an ultimatum, saying if we didn't win the next match, that was it. We were fired. What came about was a wonderful 3-0 win against Brighton. So for this game, we changed our tactics a little bit. Played really slow passing, just trying to get our hands on the ball a bit more, and let the guys that can run with it. And this worked for this match. And strangely, we didn't score many goals from our forwards, but again, here our forwards really came to the bear. So as you can see, St. Maxima crossing one in, Joe Linton getting one off the post, followed by his colleague Almiron smashing one in from a corner, and then finally a penalty from Shaw to win it, to seal the deal. These goals not coming from fantastic tactical masterstrokes, but fortunately the team played well enough to beat Brighton, and that saved our job in December, and we were ready to go again. Had a bit more life left in us. Over that period, we had some horrific performances from goalkeepers. Both Dubravka and Darlow did not play well at all for us. However, we didn't really sort that out in the January transfer window. So if I go and look at our transfers again, what also happened was the club got taken over. And with the club getting taken over, the new board, as a sign of their intent, brought in 2 players with them. They brought in Bruno Guimaraes, another midfielder, who is quality. As you can see, I think that explains it himself. They paid 23 million for him, he's worth 30 at the moment. And Viktor Siganov, who plays out on the right, he's got a good left foot on him as this lad. Great, solid stats. His long shots are fantastic. He's got plenty of long goals for us. Good dribbling. Can play anywhere across the front three. He's only 22 years old. He's fantastic. These signings helped a little bit, coupled with a bit of tweaking of tactics as we go along. After a glorious win against Brighton, we're thinking it's all gravy. We've got this nailed now. We've got everything sorted, and things started to go well for us for a while. So January saw us pick up a good number of points. We won in the FA Cup third round. We picked up a loss against Watford, but Villa, Palace, we picked up wins. Portsmouth, we also won in the FA Cup fourth round. Nice and solid. Good solid start. However, then came February. More teams that we should be beating, that we went a humiliating 5-0 loss to Southampton. Dubravka had a mare. It was terrible. We just conceded every goal that was shot at us. It was horrific. This led to more tactical tweaking. It took me far too long to realise that all the goals we were conceding from outside the box could be solved by us dropping our 2 centre midfielders back deeper, and covering to basically the DM position. We got knocked out by Norwich in the FA Cup, and then in came a horrific set of results and fixtures for us again. Everton, Arsenal. We scraped a draw at Everton. Arsenal. We scraped a draw with Manchester City. So this is when we, if I show the, it won't really show properly. Here we go, on the formation. But this is when we started playing 2 central defensive midfielders. This changed our outcomes. This is the way forward. We got there, and this changed our way forward. Playing Terrier out on the left as an advanced playmaker, he was really suited to this position. We were struggling with a striker and getting strikers to score goals, but other than that, things started to click. We got a nice draw against Everton, who were a very good team. Arsenal, we narrowly lost 2-1, and we got a draw against Man City. And at this point, we tweaked the centre forward to play as a poacher, and Man City played such a high line that Dwight Gale, who had been pants all season, picked up these goals. One was just a straight ball through. Gale actually managed to slot one in right down the back line, and they didn't learn from it. Another easy ball over the top. Gale smashes it in. Unfortunately, as you'd expect, Man City came back at us and missed a penalty in the 86th minute where they could have won it. Should have won it, really. But this was a turn in fortunes for us. What then led was beating of Wolves, an absolute pounding by Liverpool. We couldn't deal with their wing-backs. Their wing-backs were just insane. But then we scraped draws at Tottenham. We beat Leicester again, who were bottom of the table still, and finished the season strongly, beating Chelsea, drawing with Man United, and then beating Brighton 4-3 on the final day. This led to us finishing 11th position for the season. A lot of learning all round, I think, but I think we're now in a solid position to kick on this season. Interesting facts about the season. In terms of the Premier Division, Arsenal won it at a canter. They hadn't particularly signed anybody either. They just completely smashed it. Aubameyang netting 23 for him, Lacazette netting 16. Other ways were as expected: Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Man United. Tottenham had a horrible year. They fired Pochettino. They then hired Rafa Benitez and fired Rafa Benitez after the last game of the season. Everton had a very strong start of the season, dropped off a little bit. Leicester City got relegated. Kind of going to look at trying to pick up a couple of their players if we can for the next season. And also Manchester City won the Champions League. So that catches you up on where we were after the first season as Newcastle United. Very excited about the second season. We're looking at making some very nice transfers. Sell a lot of players, sell a lot of the deadwood, free up some wages, and really excited with what we can do with this team with a second attempt and with a good handle on the tactics that we're going to use. So, we'll be back with the start of the second season shortly. In a bit, folks.